All right. We have audio now.
Hey, we have audio.
I hope
Can you guys hear us?
It's we're about to hear ourselves because I have my stream unmuted. So, in a second here,
Hey, it sounds pretty good coming from your laptop.
Yeah, that's it on Max. So I guess we're actually good, which is an amazing feat.
We went through so much trouble trying to get this stream started on time.
It's only 26 minutes.
Also, if our camera shuts down at any time, sorry, I forgot to charge the battery, and my Amazon order did not come. But
one day, right?
One day we'll get it right. Maybe next week. We'll see. We'll have to start setting it up a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Submit our Amazon orders a little bit earlier.
We're gonna do another quick we're live thing.
Oh, we're actually live. We did it, guys.
I can't see me because of
you're thumbing the way.
How bright
man.
the screen is.
Oh, the lighting.
Yeah.
We have some pretty sick lighting. If nothing else, we got good lighting.
We are live.
Although we're a little bit washed out, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and now I'm watching Lewis's video. We might not be live anymore. That would kind of.
Oh.
Are we still live?
Yes, I think we are.
Are we live on your channel?
Let me find this. Yeah, we're still live. We're just not doing anything.
Oh, I got you.
And shared. All right, cool. Makes me happy.
Live streaming.
Hey.
Where do you go to your dashboard?
Yeah, and then go to
live
your
stream
old...
offline. Rip. All right.
What?
It must be our bandwidth then. That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it must be. Unless. Public. Whatever.
I was about to say, I think I can find you at YouTube. Go to youtube.com. Marked Media. There you are. Videos. No.
Sorry, guys. First live stream. We're still working through a few bugs. Even the WAN show doesn't get started on time. At least we didn't have a Windows update to worry about.
Yeah, not yet, right?
Right. I'll just see if I can create a new.
Oh, you're talking to me. There we go.
Let's talk about it. Schedule for now.
Oh,
create stream.
Name it the name of the show. That would have been genius.
Hey.
Oh, it's just called Nephew Tech Livestream. Nephew Tech. Let's tech about apostrophe s. Tech about it.
Stream preview.
And today is April the 1st.
Today is April the 1st. April Fools.
Yeah.
We're not actually streaming.
Not on time, that is.
Not on time. Certainly not on time.
There we go. It's good enough for now.
That's good enough for me. Let me get to your channel. All right. I think I subbed to you, so I can find it.
My first subscriber. And there we go.
That's your camera.
Yeah. So camera's safety so it doesn't overheat.
How do I get off of that?
You flip the little trigger thingy beside the spindle. Yeah. There we go. So we're gonna
get a brief intermission every
10 minutes.
That was definitely not 10 minutes.
Oh, it was 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
I'm thinking it resets every 6 minutes then. All right. One watching. It's probably you.
Probably.
Or maybe me. All right. So we're live. Ish. So you want to...
Very cool. Yeah. So
introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm Jacob Ingram. Small business owner and tech enthusiast is the easiest way to put that.
I am Jesse Martin, owner of J Mart Media. I've got a little YouTube tech channel started up, and I'm mainly teaching programming, and I'll probably get into some other things like drones and video production, photography, astrophotography, nighttime photography, that kind of thing. But right now I'm just focusing on programming. I am a computer science student at a local community college. So it's that's about me. That's about it for me.
I'm also into drones, just
Well, he's into drones, and his drones are in the tree. So
in the tree or in
there's
the ground.
that.
Yep.
His drone doesn't exactly fly at the moment, but
I got the
we'll
parts.
fix it. Eventually, I'll do a soldering video that maybe he can watch. Although, I don't know if he'll want to learn anything from me, but
I could burn myself.
yes.
Learn to burn yourself.
This dude was making fun of my soldering setup, and it turns out his solder was like a 1/4 inch in diameter, and he was making fun of my soldering. So
Just solder a mile to get a little ball.
yeah.
All right, so theoretically, we're going to be streaming multiple places. Not this week because it's way beyond
We
complicated.
didn't get it set up quite
Yeah.
yet.
But right now we are streaming just on, I guess, my channel now.
Yeah, I didn't check your Facebook, but we're definitely
No.
streaming on your YouTube.
We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be.
Probably,
we shouldn't be streaming on my Facebook.
we're probably streaming on his personal Facebook, but we'll see.
All right, no, we're not streaming on my Facebook.
Good.
But eventually, we'll be streaming on the business Facebook and Twitch and YouTube.
Hopefully, at
and-
least one of my channels too.
and eventually one of your channels.
But I'll probably be sharing this stream, so if you're watching it on my channel, you're probably watching a rerun. But don't let that take away from any of the great post-production quality. So,
It's gonna be fantastic.
but anyway, we've got a few topics on the what do you call it? On the agenda,
on the dock.
on the doc, the Google Doc for now. So we've got, let's see, talking about our ghetto setup.
Woohoo! It's officially ghetto.
It's a pretty sweet setup, but we're just not.
Not done tweaking.
It's the software side that we're working on for the most part. And talk about some home automation, some maybe a little bit of VPN proxy, stuff that makes your internet history and usage and a little bit more secure. And then we've got some news stuff too.
Oh yeah,
Some swatting and some scamming.
swatting. And
Always
scamming.
good topics. We're not doing either the swatting or the scamming for the record.
Yeah, that's a good.
And
record.
don't swat us either. So
Be fantastic if we're not swatted.
we've talked to the local police department, so we're good on that end, right,
Yep.
Jacob?
Yeah, so this is the great story. Went in this morning, 10:50 in the morning. Went over to the police station. Walked in. It's like a small town local police station. Walked in. So I need to ask y'all a couple questions about live streaming on the internet and swatting and police force in the house, because swatting's kind of a problem and dying is one of those things that I really
Not
don't want to
wanna do.
do. So I walk in there talking to him about swatting, and I figured they had something in place that you can verify your house where they won't just come in busting guns if someone tries to swat you. So when I walked in there, I was like, hey, I was hoping to fill out some type of document, talk to somebody about the swatting. He goes, oh yeah, we know about it. We really don't do anything. I go, so have you ever had to deal with a swatting incident yet? And then they're like, thankfully not yet. I was like, that yet is the scary part.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be the first incident.
So I was thinking about this whole issue, and I came up with, I think, a pretty good solution.
Because I have one
To the whole
solution also.
I think our solutions are probably pretty
They're
similar.
probably the exact same.
So, first off, the police can't just not respond to an event like this.
That's what his biggest thing was. They can't not show up.
They can't
Which
just
is-
not show up,
Which is fine.
which is fine. Yeah, I mean, like, if someone were to come in here, I would really want them to show up. But I don't want them to show up guns out if there's not anyone here.
Yeah.
And so my solution is for us and the local police force to get a password set up. So if someone calls and says, hey, I just shot my blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, or
significant
did
other or
whatever.
something.
I'm not going to like do it
Yeah.
because that would be bad. But if they say there's been an incident at this address, they can give us a call. They reference that address and see that it's hooked up to our name.
Yes.
And they have a phone number associated with it because we've gone and spoken to them. They call a phone number given to them by us, and they say, blah, 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 and we give them our password or our safe word or whatever.
So we were very close then.
Yeah, and then so they know, well, I don't know your idea yet,
Yeah.
but so then they know that, hey, it was just a prank, and we're not actually in danger. Although I guess we could actually be hurting someone else at that point,
Yeah.
which I didn't think about that. But what was your solution?
All right. So my solution was almost the exact same. I didn't think about the password, which is a good idea. But so when you go to the police station, they give you a form that just says like, here's all the names of people that live there or sleep or whatever you want that dwell in the dwelling, and contact numbers, the best phone numbers. Because at this point, everyone owns a cell phone.
Yeah.
And so if they were to get a SWAT number or a SWAT call, they just start calling the numbers on the phone. And chances are, if I'm home, I'm going to answer the phone. Phone's always on me.
Yeah.
And then like what your problem is, what if I am doing like, no, I'm not killing anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they still have to show up.
I didn't think about that until I said it just now.
Yeah.
But
So I don't want them busting down the door with guns blazing, but I understand they have to come in. But the other problem is if they knock on my front door, I can't hear it from this room. This is a real brick wall.
Yeah.
So there's no way to hear a knock, and the doorbell doesn't usually work.
We were talking about that the other night, actually.
Yeah.
We were cleaning out the streaming area, and we found a random doorbell just laying around.
Yeah. It says works, but does not light up.
Which, hey, is better than the current doorbell, but
Yeah.
it's like, why are we keeping a broken doorbell around?
So if I were to get swatted, I wouldn't hear them come in unless their sirens and lights were going off and I could see it.
You'd probably hear the dog.
The dog doesn't bark.
Never mind.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's stuff we can do to avoid, like, I don't know if you've ever been pulled over, but I've been pulled over for speeding.
Yeah.
And, you know, what you do is you're taught to keep your hands on the wheel where they can see them. So in this situation, all we have to do is, in theory, keep our hands up where we're not, obviously not reaching for a gun or anything.
Yeah.
And that will certainly help with the problem.
Yes.
Now, if they're trigger happy.
And like my back is to the door right now. So even if I do raise my hand, it has to pass by this massive vessel of mine. And they still can't see this back hand from the head to the door where the door's at.
But there was a shooting, I think it was in Oklahoma, that I was reading about the other day, a swatting incident, where the police got called and they had their sirens out yelling at him, and he came out of his front door, and his hands were just low.
Yeah, and they just
and I can understand it from the police's, viewpoint. He could be a threat to them. But if he'd had his hands up here,
it's a lot harder to be a threat with your hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough when you're in this situation to actually think because you're really stressed out.
Yeah.
And when you're stressed out, you don't think straight.
Yeah.
So, it goes both ways. But, man.
Yeah, no, I think it would all be solved if they had a list of phone numbers. Because even though we're down here, there's other people
to
in
answer
the house
the phone.
to
Yeah,
answer the
home
phone.
or...
Yeah, and I mean, if someone calls my phone, I'm either going to answer it or not answer it during a live stream. And if it says 911 or emergency line.
Yeah, the local police department. Yeah. But, yeah, swatting's not cool.
Yeah, so
and usually they get tracked down, but it still does damage before the person gets tracked down.
Yeah, I just don't want to have to buy a new door.
Is that what you're worried about? Just the door?
Just buying the door.
Not worried about me?
Yeah, no. Or I'll just give them the garage code and they can just walk in so we can see them.
Yeah.
That would also work very nice. But yeah, I was really shocked they didn't have
anything.
Because, okay, if I was the police,
yeah,
I would have like potential SWAT threats, and there'll be the list of houses. So like when they get a call in, they have to put in the address, and it should pop up on the address like, oh, this may be a high SWAT potential house.
Even just famous people. Like I'm sure they have a list of some famous people in the area.
Yeah, and I mean the police should probably know.
Yeah,
some of the higher famous people.
They don't know us.
Not yet. And there goes our camera. We're gonna burn the sensor out. Yeah, you just have to flip that. There we go.
They don't know us yet, but
one day they will.
Maybe they'll see this stream and get some of our brilliant ideas or something.
Yeah, or something, anything at this point, because.
But yeah, I would not want to be a police officer first of all.
Yeah,
just because that would be such a rough job in all aspects. But as a police officer, you also don't want to be going into a situation where you think there's a threat and end up shooting an innocent person.
Two nerds sitting at a table talking to a camera that turns off.
About, yeah, literally, what threat are we?
Oh, speaking of the threats, we have either the home automation stuff, which I have sitting off to the side, or the VPN proxy stuff, which is kind of like hiding from threats.
Yeah, so I don't know all that much about VPNs and proxies and like all those things and Tor and the Onion and all those things.
Okay.
But let's just say the other day I had to download something from
The internet.
websites that you can't really get from just the general World Wide Web.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, so I am a strong supporter of the First Amendment, along with other amendments.
Uh-huh.
But the First Amendment, I mean, if you can't even say what you need to say and get your information out there,
Yeah.
you've got problems.
Okay.
So I definitely like having other resources. Well, first off, in this country, at least, we have the internet. And in other countries, they have less freedoms. And now with Article 13 or whatever,
13 and 11.
over in the EU, which I think is mostly focusing on copyright infringement, which is fine with me, but I still don't like not having access to certain information that the government tells you you can't have access to.
Okay. And I've done very little research on it. So
Essentially, let's start with the simplest, proxies.
okay.
So a proxy is, in my understanding, basically you navigate to somewhere on your machine, and it sends
It's
a request to another address, and it sends
It's having a friend ask for you.
yeah, basically it bounces.
Can you ask my mom if we can play together?
Yeah.
That's the proxy, is that friend.
I like to use like explanations that anyone can understand. So it'd be like mailing a package to someone else and having them mail it to someone else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And telling them to mail it to someone else.
Yeah.
And eventually it gets to the web host that's hosting your web page or your video or whatever it is.
And then they have to unbox all those boxes.
And then it comes back.
Yeah. Reboxed in all the boxes.
But it's the internet version of that. But at this, anyone can look into this box if they want to. And
yeah.
Whereas a VPN is more of a secure version of a similar idea, right?
I understood it as like it's a lock and key.
Okay. So
I don't know how that works.
one person locks it at one end and then sends it to the other end.
And then they have a matching key from some magical way. And that's the part I don't understand. Because, I understand it's like the encryption part where you both have a key to the box. But I don't know how you tell them what key you have.
And some of these VPN services, you can appear to be in other countries as well.
Yes.
So like Tunnel Bear, which I've seen on a ton of ads for Tunnel Bear.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored, but hey, hit us up.
We need it.
Tunnel Bear, one of their their marketing points is that you can appear to be in another country to like watch TV from that country.
Yeah.
Or watch restricted content in that country.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a big thing now with the Article 13 over in Europe. People will be getting VPNs to appear as if they're in the US so they can see restricted content on YouTube or other social media platforms.
Yeah. Because the one thing I know, like between Tunnel Bear and like private internet access and a couple of the other ones, the paid ones versus the non-paid ones, from my understanding, it's worth paying the money because they have the log trackers.
Okay.
And from my research, you shouldn't have your private internet logged.
Oh, so the free ones have the logging.
Even if they say they don't, there's a good chance they are logging it and then selling it. And that's one of the
that
big
makes
worries
sense.
that they
So
have.
that's why they're free, is because they're selling your data.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I thought you were saying that the paid ones log. But yeah, that makes more sense.
I mean, they could be charging you to
What do
say
we
they're
know?
not logged, and then they're just turning around and logging
True.
it. So it's kind
but
of
that's something that I've been...
Because I think it was one of the paid ones recently were doing that.
I think I might have heard about that, but...
yeah, paid proxy was logging data. Because they got a ton of backlash. I don't remember who it was. It was a couple years ago, I think.
I don't know. I just don't like all the tracking that's going on. Even like my cell phone. I've been thinking about getting just a dumb phone because I don't need a phone. And it's got the GPS on there. They can still track you if you have a dumb phone using cell towers and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So it's not precise.
But it's not quite. I mean, it's not as precise. But
they still get you to the block.
Yeah. Yeah, right? It's like if you're still in the area. I just don't like all the tracking and stuff that's going on.
I kind of agree with that, though. As a tech guy, I hate the tracking.
Being safe is good. But if it requires sacrificing all of your freedom,
So I
It's not worth it,
I have
in my opinion.
2 positives to the tracking that I really, really like. So the one that I use more often is when I go to places like restaurants or to amusement areas, I can go back on my Google Maps and it'll tell me all the places I've been to, and then I can sit there one night and do 20 reviews, and then I can review all the small businesses I went to that month.
Okay.
And I do that almost every month.
I've used that before, not for that purpose, but just for finding out like what road I took going somewhere, or
and like it's the first day of the
like
month.
my mileage. Or something.
And Google just emailed me, or Google Maps emailed me and said, "Here's all the locations you visited in the month of March." And I'm about to go back tonight and start leaving reviews for
because you, as a small business owner,
like
appreciate the reviews,
yes.
so you're kind of giving it back to them, which is good.
Because I can never leave a review after I've been there, because I'm not gonna Google you again after I eat there. I'm gonna wait till the end of the month and just.
But if it pops up like that and it's super convenient, then it makes sense.
It makes a lot more sense.
And what was the second thing you've used it for?
So I haven't used it for yet, but I really like the idea of it. I do tech house calls. So when I go out to a house to do calls, I'm a one-man shop. So when I go out, I'll leave a note on the counter saying like, "Hey, I left for this house at this time."
Yeah.
But if on the off chance I don't come back, or the store gets ransacked or something, you may never find me again.
True.
But Google Maps will tell you where I was last at the end of the month. So I might be at
the end of the month.
I might be a month old and a month cold, but you might be able to find me.
Okay, yeah.
I like the idea that it is tracking to that kind of degree.
Yeah. So if it's something that you can enable and disable, there is that benefit.
Yes.
But even like the benefit of tracking criminals, well, this is turning into more politics than I had expected. But even if it comes to tracking criminals, it's up to the government to determine who's a criminal.
Yes.
Like, is a criminal someone who uses a VPN? Because then
they could be a criminal.
Then they can track you.
Yeah, because then it's not.
But they're only tracking criminals. But if you're using a VPN, you're a criminal, so they can track you. Or if you're sharing memes in the EU, and they can track you, and they can just declare anyone that the government wants a criminal.
Or instead of tracking
this is
criminals,
way more political than
they're going to be tracking everyone who's not guaranteed innocent. So if they can't guarantee you're innocent, then you could be a criminal. So they're tracking you.
Yeah, but anyway, sacrificing all of your freedom for safety
for Google reviews is not worth it.
Not worth it. Not worth it in my opinion. So we'll see if I end up, because my phone is dying right now. My volume up button is dead.
Oh, well, at least you can always turn it down.
Something else. Oh yeah, I can't answer phone calls.
That's okay. That's a lot.
So if you ever call me, just wait for me to call you back. Okay. Because I literally, the screen that pops up when you're accepting a phone call doesn't pop up.
Huh.
So.
Okay. Mine's cracking, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't want a phone, though.
Yeah. You don't even use your phone for anything. I web browse and social media on my phone.
This is the only time I'm not in front of the desktop, and that's because it's 15 feet in front of me instead of 2.
Yep. Hosting the stream.
Yeah. And then on the idea of tracking is the smart home, which falls pretty much exactly into that.
Yeah.
Because I finally bought it. It's been sitting there for a week, since Sunday last week.
Okay. Yeah.
So just over a week, because I've been busy. But I want to build my own smart home, and I'm going to look this up. Home automation, homeassistant.io is what I'm looking at building it off of, which is off the HAS.io framework, I guess is what you want to call it. But so I'm gonna do air quotes smart home there. I want to do like house lights, the security cameras, temperature control, maybe motion sensors, that kind of
door,
thing.
open and close things.
Oh, and there goes our camera. But then I don't want it to be online, and there's a 2-side fight to that. You
don't have an Amazon Alexa?
Yeah. So like one's like, well, why would you even want to have a smart home if you can't change your air temperature, make sure everything's turned off when you leave the house? That's not what I want it for, though. I want it so that if I have friends come over or something and I'm too lazy to go downstairs and unlock the door, I can just hit unlock door unlocks, they can walk right in. Or if the doorbell rings, magically works, I can just...
Maybe when you get a smart doorbell, it will work.
I'll have 2 Wi-Fis in my house. I'll have the online Wi-Fi, which will just be the one that connects to everybody in the World Wide Web. And then I'll have my LAN Wi-Fi, my local Wi-Fi, which
that is
just
not connected to the internet
not
at
connect-
all, which
and-
is the key here.
Yeah, and that
the
connects
goal.
to all my smart outlets, all my smart lights, all my smart locks, all my security cameras and motion detectors and all that. And that way on my phone, I can be on my LAN. And then if I want to control stuff, I mean, I'll probably just stay on my LAN because I have data. I can just control it and be like, all right, let's set up for movie mode. And I can hit movie mode and all the rest of the lights in the house will go off. And then in my living room, the dim light will come on, the projector will auto turn on, the surround sound auto turns on.
That's nice too.
And that would, hey, thanks, phone. And that would be super nice. That's what I would like.
Yeah. I guess the one downside of having it offline is that if you'd have to switch networks on your phone if you're, but if you have data, then you can just use your
really
data
don't
connection.
use my phone in the house.
True. Yeah, because then you get the desktop.
Yeah, I have a desktop or a laptop.
Yeah. And you found the cheaper outlets, which are good.
Yes.
Like $8 an outlet.
Yes.
Give or take. Or less.
$8 if you don't buy them on
find a deal, yeah.
flash sale. But if you find them on flash sale, I've been buying for like $6.50 right now per socket and buy them 4 at a time. I got to buy light switches soon. Like these lights in the garage, they're new LEDs.
They're super nice.
Put up a couple days ago. But every time I want to turn them on and off, I have to wake up my phone, open the app, wait for the app
set up
to
right
load.
now?
Yep, and then I can hit the lights.
Nice.
But that took like 15 seconds to hit a light switch. So what I would like is little buttons that go on the wall next to all my normal light switches, or even replace my normal ones.
Yeah.
And it will just be a smart button that connects to my LAN that turns them off. Or I'm also looking at motion detectors for rooms. So like if I come home at 3 a.m. through the front door, it will auto turn on the foyer light for me.
So when that door opens,
Yeah.
the light turns on.
Yeah, because then you can also buy those smart magnetic door and window things, and those are dirt cheap.
Yeah. And that would be even easier actually than just an actual motion sensor.
Yeah.
Would just be.
Because motion sensors are actually cheaper than cameras. So I was going to do motion sensors where I don't want to have to pay for a smart Wi-Fi camera.
Yeah. I've thought about doing that mainly for my computer monitors. Just because it'd be nice to turn them all off at once. As opposed to having to click each.
Oh, okay.
Because I have like a few monitors.
I was like, I use 2 all the time. It's just
No, mine are not the same monitor. So they've got the button on the back, the button underneath, the button on the side.
That's kind of annoying though.
It's kind of annoying. But just really when I like go to sleep. I mean,
and then I don't remember if it was you or another friend, but somebody was telling me that you could download Wikipedia.
Download Wikipedia?
Yeah, without the images. Apparently it's not huge.
Okay,
I don't
can
know
believe that because,
I don't know if that's true or not. I'm actually going to look it up because I haven't looked it up yet. Download Wiki. And I can do an offline Wikipedia server.
Even if it's a few terabytes, it's not.
Yeah. You buy 4 terabyte drive or 10 terabyte drive.
Yeah, you're good.
And be a couple $100, but for privacy, it's worth a couple $100 in my opinion. It'll always be a little bit out of date compared to the most up-to-date Wikipedia. But the idea is then I can talk to the smart home and be like, all right, smart home, what temperature do I cook raw chicken in the microwave with a lemon or something? And it will look up on Wikipedia for me. Best result for what it thinks I was asking for.
So for like political events, it might be a little bit behind.
So
but
news
for
or
cooking rice, it's pretty much going to remain the same.
Yeah, for
that
news and crap, weather and stuff like that is going to be out of date and pointless. But then I can ask it questions like, how many cups are in a gallon again? And it can convert everything for me like that because Wikipedia should have that, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would think so.
But yeah, I've never even looked at how big Wikipedia is.
I can imagine without all the pictures, because text is really small, really.
Yeah. Wikipedia database download. Oh, and there's an how-to guide. So yeah, this might need...
Videos are big, audio's
You can get audio,
but text is small.
Yeah.
Does it give you a size?
These files expand to multiple terabytes of text.
Multiple terabytes. Is that as specific as it gets?
No, because if you click terabytes, it takes you to the definition of terabytes.
Oh.
It's 58 gigabytes compressed.
58 gigabytes compressed. That's some pretty good compression then.
That'd be really good compression.
Or it's not that big.
It's like 20-fold compression or something. Or yeah, it's a 1.2 terabytes or something like that. Yeah,
Which
I'll
would
have
be
to
pretty sweet. You'll have to look into that and find out, because that's interesting. And then some other things we've got to talk about is the old Office Depot tech support scam.
which I find quite hysterical.
Being a
Yeah.
small business
Computer repair.
repair owner.
It's quite a lot. So I was actually watching the WAN show this morning, the VOD version of it, and I got an email through my small business that I just got a review left because I talked myself out of another sale. I do this quite a lot because if I'm not the best option, I just don't even bother trying to sell anything. I almost want to pull up the review, but I talked myself out of the sale because she found a better deal on an Amazon flash sale. I was like, yeah, just go with that because it's barely better than what I can do, but it's still better. So you're better off.
Can you
that way.
say what was it, like a hard drive?
It was a all-together desktop bundle. So it was a slim desktop with a monitor, mouse, keyboard, speakers, and it was like $127. But it was an old Core 2 Duo.
Dang.
And she needed it for making birthday cards or something. She wasn't doing much on it, and
Wow, that is a pretty good deal.
yeah, it was really good. So she left me a review this morning saying that I was honest enough to not try to sell her a flux capacitor at $500 or something like that.
That's great.
And then I hear the WAN show talking about the Office Depot support scam where they settle for $35 million according to Washington Post.
But they said they didn't do anything wrong. They did not admit to any wrongdoing.
Which is kind of hard to believe as a tech guy myself that a tech person wouldn't know when they're doing something wrong.
Yeah, it even said somewhere in the article that the people working there.
Yeah, because some of the employees said that it was all just a giant scam. Like I have like 2 to 4 people every week that come in with those browser lockup scams where it's like, warning, your PC may be infected. Please call this number within 15 minutes or all your data will be encrypted or deleted or that crap. And it's a really scary loud voice, as they call it.
So was Office Depot actually putting this on the customer's computer, or were they just doing the whole virus detection thing?
So from what I understood is that they plug in their USB stick or whatever, their CD or however Office Depot works, and then they run this scan,
this diagnostic tool,
and it just shows results like you have 34 pups, or I think it's an arbitrary number. I think that's how it was working. I haven't read all of it, but I mean, you can almost guaranteed run CCleaner and always come up with thousands of results no matter how fresh install it is. And that's really scammy. Yeah. Because I used to do it for customers all the time when they walk in, and they were talking about how they had some guy called him on the phone from Microsoft, and they let him on the computer because he's from Microsoft, of course.
For the record, if Microsoft ever calls you,
it's
not Microsoft. If you call Microsoft, then it's fine. But if Microsoft's calling you, they're not Microsoft. It's not actually them. And that goes for any other business too. Like, if you call them, that's one thing. But if they call you asking for something. Yeah, and I always show people the tree command in CMD or command prompt, because that's where it just starts listing all the folders and stuff. And then I'm like, people think it's viruses, but it's just and I'm like, this is literally your pictures folder. And these are literally your phone pictures that you dumped over from your phone back in July or whatever. And they're like, oh, but it showed up in red text. I'm like, so what they're doing here is when they run the tree command, they're copying and pasting from a notepad on their computer onto your computer. And I have to walk through this like 4 times a week still. Dang. It's a lot. But what Office Depot or Office... I'll be right back. Yeah. But with Office Depot, they knew what they were doing. Yeah, so Office Depot would get a customer's computer, and then they would run their diagnostic tool, which would say, hey, you've got viruses, you've got whatever. And people would believe it, because that's why they're in Office Depot. Yeah. And then Office Depot would go and clean off the viruses or do whatever they were doing. And then they were told not to use that system tool again after giving the computer back, right? Okay. That's what I heard. So the technicians, I guess, were told not to run the diagnostic tool in front of the customer after they had removed the viruses. So that was another part that was definitely dishonest, because the people who were in charge knew that this tool would still return some viruses.
Yeah,
and then the customer would say, hey, you didn't remove the viruses.
Yeah, because like I'll run some like anti-malware, antivirus ones in front of customers, like the garbage quick scans or the threat scans, whatever you want to call them, in front of the customers, and it will pop up 10 results. But most of the time the results are slimware utilities, which is a fun one. And the idea is not to tell them like, oh, look, you have stuff. It's to show them like, I'm actually going to have to sit here and run 8 scans and restart your computer 1,000 times and run Windows updates and Java updates and Flash updates and Adobe Reader updates, because that's usually what's actually slowing the computer down.
And then upgrade them to an SSD.
And then upgrade them to an SSD and more than 2 gigs of RAM.
Yes. What does PUP stand for again?
Potentially unwanted program.
Potentially unwanted program. So it could be a program that they downloaded and didn't need, or they downloaded something and it came with some other software.
Yeah, or it's even programs you download on purpose to use. Like I used to use a program called Bulk Rename Utility. It's free on the internet. It's a really handy utility if you have a million of something. So like when I used to take a ton of photos, I used Bulk Rename Utility, open it up, and I could rename all the photos together. But then you can do weird things with it. So depending on like the photo size or the date it was taken, you can create arguments and it will rename everything accordingly.
Gotcha.
And it was super useful. Showed up as a PUP.
Gotcha.
And I was like,
so it's something you installed intentionally, but it was still
potentially unwanted.
Potentially, yeah.
But most of the time, PUPs are not wanted.
Okay, gotcha.
Because most of the time, if you have a PUP on your computer and you don't know what the program is, it's usually garbage.
Yeah.
If you know what PUPs are, chances are you know enough about computers to get rid of it yourself.
Yeah. So we talked about the swatting. We talked about that. Dang. Just covered all our topics.
Yeah.
Our main topics.
Yeah, super many.
How long have we been streaming? About 30 minutes or so, I'd say.
38 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay.
But we're also looking for sponsors. Don't sponsor us this week because it was pretty bad showing up
and
this week.
And it's too late.
Yeah, it's way too late to sponsor us this week. But next week and the week after that, keep an eye out. We're going to try harder for 8 p.m.
Yep.
We got a lot more hardware coming in, so we're eventually going to be able to do screen sharing. We don't have that set up yet. And
we may change the camera setup a little bit. Definitely, actually, I take that back. Definitely we'll change the camera setup, because right now we have to, as you've seen, reset it every about 6 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
Maybe it might be 10 minutes actually.
Yeah.
Because I've only got up
twice,
2 or 3 times.
3 times total, but the first time was 5 minutes.
So that would be 10 minutes.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Not optimal.
We're gonna work on the camera lighting a lot bit more, because
I think the lighting's pretty good, but I'm a little bit washed out. This light's a little bit too close.
Yeah, you're a little washed out, and I might just be a little red. It might also be the dirty shirt.
Yeah, he had to dress up.
Yeah, super fancy. But then I also want to almost get this a little different, because when I was watching like the WAN show or the Joe Rogan show experience, sorry,
JRE.
Yeah. I don't know how they made it so you can't see the laptops. Because
we could raise the camera a little bit.
Yeah. And with the JRE, he sits almost perfectly sideways.
And the camera is super zoomed in on his face.
Yes.
Too. Which it's not here.
We can get a bunch of cameras.
I think our mic setup is actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
I might need to change this to a black mic. As in spray paint it.
Or wear a silver shirt.
Or wear a silver shirt. That's always an option too.
Really bright screen.
Yeah, but I think the setup, I like the table, I like the chairs.
Yes.
They could have some more back support, but
they got a lot more back support.
But we set this up on Friday, mostly.
Yeah,
you set up the lighting before that.
Yeah.
We got the lights on Friday.
That's the garage lighting that's always staying in the garage forever.
It's sweet. It's really nice, actually. And it was pretty cheap too.
Yeah. Flash sale.
Wait, garage sale?
Flash sale.
Flash sale. Amazon.
Always buy them on flash sales.
I've never bought on a flash sale. I need to, though.
It takes way too long. You got to work at a computer shop to do it.
Yeah. But I like the... I like it.
I almost want to do a hand to camera. So if we ever do like small projects, we can move out, or a ceiling camera. So like
that would be nice.
Therapy.
Yes, that would be nice.
Because Lou or Louis or Lewis, I don't know how he goes. By
Yeah.
Unbox Therapy does that.
Okay. Which is a nice perspective.
Yeah,
And some of the drone guys I've seen do that as well.
because otherwise, to show you anything, I do what Linus does and stand up and walk to the camera. Once
And
standing
if
up,
we move that camera, it ain't getting focused back.
There's no
Trust me on that. Yeah. Next time we'll need to have a few more news articles queued up, ready to go.
yeah,
I don't have time to follow them as much as I would like to, but if we pick a few, I could definitely read up on them
yes,
and be somewhat educated. The swatting thing I've kind of followed just because
it's
I'm somewhat interested in politics and not getting killed, so and streaming things like this. So
yeah. I want to do more streaming. I do a little bit of streaming when I fix like friends' computers and stuff. I don't stream customer computers because that gets into a whole ordeal. But with friends' computers, I'll stream that. Otherwise, I really don't do any streaming.
I don't do any streaming. I've streamed games like twice,
Yeah, because like
but it was super low quality and my bandwidth was really low at the time, so it was unwatchable.
yeah, like today when I was eating lunch, I was watching Eli the Computer Guy's Daily Blob, and I don't know how that dude talks into the camera for an hour and a half every day, but it's great lunch material. So
I like Lewis. I certainly like what Lewis talks about, especially when it's not about computers, when it's about Apple.
Yeah.
Just ranting on Apple. I can watch that, listen to that all day. I've noticed that talking into a camera is really tough because I've been making more of the YouTube stuff and
Okay.
talking into a camera. And honestly, if I don't use a teleprompter, it's really tough to look into the camera. It feels super awkward.
yeah, it does.
Even just now, it feels here having someone to talk to
Makes it a lot.
feels a lot less awkward.
It does feel way less awkward because I tried to do video tutorials for my grandmother. Funny enough, because she couldn't figure out how to install uBlock Origin on Chrome, and that's a really hard thing to explain in an email. So I tried to make a YouTube video, and I just had my little tiny Logitech camera, and then I had a screen capture, and I was trying to talk just to my grandmother, and that was still really weird.
Yeah. It's just
Talking
unnatural talking into a object
with no one else in the room.
with no one else in the room. It's like you're talking to yourself,
Yeah, which is
but you know it's going to be on the internet.
yeah, forever and ever.
Sending out a video of you talking to yourself just
Yeah.
is weird.
Yeah, the one thing I am looking forward to, I don't know if you ever played them, is the Borderlands games.
No,
Never.
never.
Okay. My family really likes them. So I couldn't care less about they have Borderlands. They have the original Borderlands they came out with, and then they came out with Borderlands 2, which continues the story, and then they came out with Borderlands the pre-sequel, which is between 1 and 2. So they made
Okay.
1, 2,
So kind
and
of like
then
the
a
Star
half.
Wars deal.
So it's kind of like the Star Wars deal. And then now they're releasing 3, and they also announced that they're remaking the other ones to make them look prettier or something.
Interesting. So
I really couldn't care less about redoing it
graphics?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're rebalancing 1 is what they're doing.
are you into the storyline or the questing or
So I like the randomization.
Okay.
Every time a gun drops, it's randomized on specs, but it's randomized within a certain percentage. So like it could, so like
higher loot
yeah.
is less
yeah, but then like
is more rare.
so if you kill 2 of the exact same bad guys, it still drop almost 2 of the exact same guns, but one will be like 3% more accurate than the other.
Okay.
It's just a little bit of randomization.
Gotcha.
So if you play online with people, you're not using the exact same guns, or the chances of using the exact same guns very hard.
Okay. Yeah.
So it
have you ever heard of Escape from Tarkov?
no, never.
Escape from Tarkov is themed in Russia. It's kind of it's like a PvP. Have you heard of DayZ, right?
Yes.
It's kind of similar to DayZ, but
Okay.
it's more match based. So everyone gets inserted into the round at the same time, and you have 45 minutes to complete. So your one group starts at one end, and the other group starts at the other end. They're not on the same team, but they're basically trying to cross across the map. So they're
Oh.
like filtering across the map and killing people on their way and whatnot. But that game has a lot of
Oh, there goes our camera.
customization options. So if you kill someone and pick up their gun,
Yeah.
it's going to be different than your gun, better, worse,
Yeah.
and so you can upgrade your loot.
Yeah. So like I have the hard time
Kind of a similar
'cause, like,
aspect.
I don't play any like the Fortnite or the PUBG or
Yeah.
I own Overwatch, but I haven't played it in a
Okay.
year.
I haven't played Overwatch
Yeah.
or Fortnite for the
Yeah.
record.
For the record. And I don't like playing them because once you get to like a certain level, you've got the best stuff already. Like there's a way to complete, air quotes, complete the game.
Okay.
Which is one reason I still kind of like Minecraft is that you can't really complete it. It's just kind of like a continuous Lego game.
I like those games
And
too.
that's why I like Borderlands. Because with Borderlands, once you beat it, you can use the same character at the same level and go through it again.
Gotcha.
And the bad guys just get harder.
I like games like that where you are playing to enjoy it rather than playing to
Win it.
complete it or win it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like games that are skill-based as opposed to something like RuneScape where you get all the best gear and you get to a high level and you can just crush anybody.
Yeah.
It's games like CSGO or games like the most recent game I've been into is Squad, which is a military FPS shooter.
Okay.
A team-based, like 40 versus 40.
Jeez.
Team-based. But everyone gets the same gear for the most part. You can choose like rifleman, you can choose grenadier, you can choose anti-tank. But that's it. You don't get to choose.
There's not like 70 different.
You don't
guns.
unlock new guns like Battlefield or
cool.
Call of Duty.
Because I found one game that I really enjoy. VR experience.
I don't have VR.
Yeah, you don't have VR. It's VR fishing.
Okay.
It's super cartoony. It feels a lot like Animal Crossing.
Okay.
But it's just the fishing.
But VR.
So you're stuck in a rowboat sitting down, and you can just have oars, and you just go. And when you catch fish, you put them in a cooler. It gives you a couple coins. You can buy more bait. Then you can buy like sandwiches or hats, or you can buy a camera and a photo book so you can take fake pictures of the scenery. And like randomly you'll be fishing, all of a sudden there'll be a bear on the land beside you.
Gotcha.
It's super calming. I burned like 6 hours in it.
Just immersive, and you can relax.
Yeah.
And not think about work.
I was fishing, and it was nice and cool, and it was 102 degrees outside.
Actually outside?
Actually outside. It was like 102 or something. It was back in the summer. And I was sitting in the AC fishing. I had a soda right beside my chair. It was wonderful.
Oh! Did you see the video of the guy who put on, what was it, VR for a week?
I haven't seen the video. I saw it on my YouTube recommendations. It's still up there somewhere. I would die. There's no way.
Yeah.
Did he just use like the cat view?
What's cat view?
So that's just with the camera, and it's just like laser outlines of everything.
Like augmented reality? No, he might have had some augmented reality for just moving around, but most of the stuff was with some big headset, and then to sleep he would put on a smaller headset. So he was able to change headsets and that kind of thing. But I don't know how much augmented reality he had. But yeah, that would be super weird.
So he was actually in VR games the whole time?
Yeah. VR games, and maybe he might have been doing he was streaming the whole time too.
Good.
So he might have been hopping into a browser and going to Twitch or something and responding to comments and whatnot. But yeah, he had the headset on the whole time was the big thing.
Good Lord.
Which would be, are you watching it there?
Yeah, I'm jumping through this 17-minute video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks like he's playing games the whole time or sleeping.
Yeah, so that would be.
Oh, it looks like it's the Vive. Yeah, it's just the Vive, it looks like.
Yeah, so see there, he's, I don't know, looking at something. Or going to sleep with but yeah. We should look into that and maybe talk about that next time.
Yeah, because I saw the one meme, it's like 1990s, sit farther from the screen, it's going to melt your brain out. And then it's 2019, and everyone has the screen 2 inches
yes.
on their face.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it. I'll sit on VR for 8 hours or so. Because once you put it on, you lose all track of time. You only take it off to either go to the bathroom or eat. Otherwise, you'll never know.
Yeah.
Or your ankles get tired if you're a little on the head of your
I don't
side.
know how he kept track of time doing that.
Because like if you go into like a Vive menu, the Vive menu has a clock in it.
Okay.
But then you still can't tell.
But you would totally lose.
Yeah.
Your orientation.
I think I would sleep a lot more.
Which actually, I know a guy who used to be on a submarine in the Navy, and he said they did 16-hour days. So instead of a normal 24-hour day, they would work 8. I think it was they would work 8,
sleep 8,
sleep 4, or sleep 6 and have 2 hours off. So instead of being a normal 24-hour day, when they're underwater, they don't have any reference to the outside world. So
yeah, one of my friends who was also an entrepreneur. We haven't talked in a long time. He did the thing where he worked 4 hours, slept 30 minutes, worked 4 hours, slept an hour, worked 6 hours. Like, he had some really weird schedule, but he was never awake for a very long time or asleep a very long time. But he still got like his full,
it was like a shorter
7 hours.
it was a day, shorter day.
But
just
yeah,
because.
and he was
he on a submarine as well, or
no, just in his house. But he was able to work from home on his computer because he programmed or something.
Okay.
And he was able to sleep like 6 hours
schedule.
per 24 hours, and he was still able to get like optimum work
interesting.
because he was taking a lot more naps.
Interesting.
But I assume he was also able to fall asleep faster than I am. So
yeah,
I'm one of those. Work for 4 hours, I lay in bed for an hour. Like, all right.
Yeah, at least me.
That was boring.
Me too.
Oh man.
What were we talking about before that? I don't even remember. Games. How do we get into games?
I was scrolling down the news.google.com/topics/technology, and Borderlands 3 popped up, and then we went over to VR.
Oh, we were talking about kind of streaming and game streaming too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been making the YouTube videos, and I don't know how you're planning to format yours, but the way I make mine is basically I type up a whole, because some people, especially programming videos, they're just winging it.
That sounds bad.
Which ends up with long-winded talks that aren't as helpful as they should be.
It's a 56-minute video with 6 minutes of information.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I write my video beforehand, which is probably the most time-consuming part.
Yeah.
Is just writing it.
Okay.
And then if I need to shoot a video, I'll shoot a video when I have a teleprompter. Which I use either a laptop or a phone.
I was about to ask, what do you use for teleprompter?
Yeah. So I don't have the fancy screen in front of the camera.
49-inch.
Yeah. But it's not in front of the camera. So, so it would be obvious
true.
that, see, if we're doing that, it's obvious that we're not looking at the camera.
That's very
For
true.
me, I put the laptop right next to it so it looks like I'm looking at the camera.
Okay. Yeah.
Enough. And then I do mostly voiceover. So that I'm literally just reading from the doc.
Okay. Now, shout out to Mount Mograph YouTube video. He does like animation, like flat animation stuff.
Okay. That stuff is super hard and time consuming.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But all of his intros is like the video of like what's going to be the video. But then he pretty much practices the video first and then he records it again. Because like, all right, so I just made this about 2 hours ago. And so he's doing it twice, essentially.
Gotcha.
The first time he's just practicing. I assume he's practicing.
Yeah.
Because then he'll just like, so I don't know why exactly I went from a smartphone layout to a coffee cup when he's like animating icons to turn into each other. But I was tired, so that's what I did. So that's what we're going to do again here right now. And then he's literally just using what he used a couple hours ago.
So yeah, I'm doing a similar thing, except, well, mine is a lot more simple than animating something like that. Mine's, typing out some lines of code, which I can read over. And
yeah, I'm still looking for a simple video editor because I want a clean, smooth transitions, which is why I'm looking at Mount Mograph videos because he's really good at what he does.
Yeah.
But I want to do the one take under 2 minutes. I would really like to do one take. It's probably not going to happen. And then I could just throw it in there and then put animations on my background, which is going to be this lovely brick, and then export it and upload it with minimal editing is the goal.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sit there like Taryn with Linus Tech and edit a video for 4 or 6 hours.
Yeah. So did you watch their video about Linus? It was Linus's stream about going around and asking each person what they did.
I haven't watched it yet, but he was talking about it on Wayne's show.
Okay.
Because he didn't answer the question on why he has so many people hired.
I won't spoil it, but I will say that they post maybe 7.
So
I think they post 5 videos to the LTT show,
Yes.
LTT channel. They do maybe 2. Is it a daily news show?
TechLinked is twice a week, I think.
Twice a week, and then I think they did twice a week to Tech Quickie as well.
Yeah, because I'm thinking they do like 9 videos or something.
I think that sounds
And then
close.
just his live streams. Because
the
he'll
WAN
jump
show
on
and then his random live stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do 9 or 10, maybe 11 videos. 2 of them.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
And it takes a lot more than 2 people.
Yeah. And they have a crew of 20, I think you said 23 people.
Okay, because he's about to hire another half dozen or something, or a dozen.
Yeah, he's hiring 3 or 4, I think.
Okay,
new
yeah,
people.
half dozen.
But yeah, so they've got 24 people, and they're posting 9 videos a week, which is not a lot of. I don't know.
So like a big problem with that, I think, is that out of all those people, they have to have like one person dedicated to accounting who never even touches the videos.
I was actually expecting more of the people to be in talking to sponsors, trying to get sponsors.
How many sponsor people? Like 2?
Maybe 2 or 3. I was expecting more than that.
Really?
I was expecting half the team to be on sponsors because that's how they make their money.
I think, because I haven't seen the video yet, I think half of it would be editing. Half of them are either editors or shooters.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're an editor, you could also shoot.
Yeah.
I don't think. If you shoot, I don't think you could edit. But I think if you edit videos, you're able to shoot videos.
As long as you understand cameras, yeah.
I mean, you get a 10-minute.
I think they had 2 main
from
shooters.
Edsel. I would imagine he could run you through it real fast.
Yeah.
But then I think writers would be the next highest after editors, just because editing.
From my
takes so long.
experience, yeah, writing takes a long time, and especially for them, like top quality.
Yeah, because Linus finally said that he doesn't pre-check everything now.
He's got other people.
I couldn't imagine having to sit there and watch every single video that gets shot out of that place.
Yeah.
Like, I watch probably 80% of them, but I'm also not the one making them.
But you still wouldn't be the one making them. You would be just the one approving. Well, actually, I guess you would if you were Linus, because he is the main talent.
Because, yeah, if you were the host, you would read over the script, then you would be performing the script. And then you would have to wait for the final product and watch it again.
Editing videos of myself is awful.
It's really
My
awkward.
face and my voice are just terrible.
So,
especially, I've gotten used to my voice for the most part, actually. But
so I do a lot of the audio mixing, and I'm finally getting more into sound.
Yeah.
I'm okay with hearing my own voice, like in recordings and such, and I'm okay with it live. I'm not okay with it when I hear it with other people's voices. I like it isolated, but I don't like it when I hear it, because like your voice always sounds like your voice to me. It doesn't sound different on recordings. But then when I listen to record myself by myself,
oh, I got what you're saying.
I'm used to like the distortion or whatever it is. But then when I hear something
it doesn't
normal
distort my
with
voice.
It's
that'll
like,
be interesting.
One of us is really weird.
I haven't experienced that yet, but I'll experience it watching this stream.
Yeah. It's like when they sing or something, it's always kind of weird to think that singer is hearing herself one way, and then the guy singing right beside him is hearing her differently, but they're still singing the same note.
Yeah. Because
to me, what I hear my voice isn't the same note or the same tone.
Yeah. Wow. That's weird to think about.
But I also am trying to like audio a lot more, so I'm trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the camera, if we can get yours working next week, that'd be great. But have you
found any that you're interested in?
Yeah. But it's under 500. It's 4K 30 FPS.
Wow.
But
that's impressive.
That's
gonna kill your computer.
It's gonna destroy the computer. I wonder if we can pull up Task Manager while it's running.
Oh, let's see. It's probably not that bad right now. 44. Oh, dude, that's sweet. Is our stream live?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Stream is live.
Sweet. I mean, the thing that's killing us, I think, is this upload.
The upload speed
4.8, and I only got 10.
And having a faster upload speed would help because you have to compress it less.
Yes.
Before you send it too.
Yeah.
But right now, for y'all who can't see, it is 17% CPU usage.
Yeah.
Everything else is totally low.
Yeah.
And that's low for CPU, especially when you're streaming and encoding a video.
Yeah. And it's a
1080p video.
Yeah. Right now we're running on Core i7 3770S. So that's the i7 Ivy Bridge. Quad core, hyper-threaded, 3.3 gigahertz. 3.1 gigahertz. I'm blind.
3.1. Okay.
And then I've got a dirt cheap SSD, 16 gigs of DDR3.
Because we are recording as well.
Yeah.
And the GPU usage is kind of high because I think we're actually doing hardware encoding.
Yeah.
So the GPU is at 50, which again is super low for.
And yeah, it'd be really nice if it was live streaming to both.
I know it's streaming on your YouTube channel, but we'll see.
I'm still watching it on the YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's streaming and recording. Theoretically, it's recording. The green light's on for record.
Yeah. Either way, we'll have it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the downside to doing 4K 30 FPS is we can't have a live stream at 1080p 60 FPS or 720p 60 FPS because it's only capturing at 30 frames. And I don't know video well enough for this. I think we'd have to do 4K 60 in order to get that 720 60.
Okay.
But I don't know how that works.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
But like the cheapest 4K 60 FPS camera I can find is like $1,400, $1,800.
Wow, yeah.
And I'm like, not really worth it.
Not yet.
Not
Maybe
yet.
one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're streaming 30 FPS right now, right?
Yeah, 1080 30
Yeah.
theoretically.
It looks choppy over there, but on the stream it looks pretty smooth.
Yeah, that's what I've been watching. It looks super choppy, but then if we wait 40 seconds or whatever it is, it looks smooth. And then the only other thing I am worried about is the latency between the camera, because the camera's running through a capture card, and then the mics are just USB mics.
I didn't think about running through the capture card.
Because I know that capture card is like half a second or something.
Wow, that's pretty big.
But I'm hoping that we just didn't waste an hour, 2 minutes, and 29 seconds.
If we did, I'll have to rip the audio and rip the video
yeah,
and combine them together with a little offset.
Yeah, little tiny offset. But then we'll know from this if we should just offset the audio video for next week.
And by how much, too.
Yeah. Otherwise.
Although, we'll have a different camera.
Different camera, same capture card.
Yeah. But we can run a test on like an unlisted video.
Yeah.
And
that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
An hour before or something.
At least an hour before.
An hour before.
Oh.
Oh man. Yeah, but I'm still working on getting the website up.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, we don't have our little card things.
Oh yes, let's show our
look at this
fancy card. So
look
that's me right there. That's Jake. Go to jmartmedia.com. Follow me on YouTube at jmartmedia. And the same for all the other, you see them up there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can read, right?
Yeah.
You can read.
I also have a Twitter. Don't follow me on Twitter. Best place to do is Facebook. I'm going to be posting most of my stuff on Facebook.
On Instagram and sharing it to Facebook.
Yeah. So pretty much everything I do is going to be posted on Instagram and then auto shared to Facebook and Twitter. If you want to get in contact with me, do it through Facebook or email. Our emails aren't up there, but if you can see from the domain and you're smart, you can figure it out. I think most sponsors know how that works at this point.
Yep.
And if you don't, you're probably not sponsoring us.
Well,
almost a good first week.
No, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. We had a lot of good topics to talk about.
Yeah. So yeah, next week we're gonna definitely have to work on topics.
We need to work on the camera issue, and then a few more topics maybe, and start on time.
Yeah, starting on time.
But that's
be the big
pretty
one.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. We were like, oh, we got like 45 minutes to start, and then all of a sudden we had like 2 minutes to start.
Yeah. So one of the issues was we were gonna run off of my camera, but I didn't get an Amazon order in, so I was running off a single battery, and it wasn't fully charged because I was expecting the Amazon order to come in.
Yeah.
Which is like a wall outlet charger for the phone.
And now this wasn't Amazon free delivery. I
had to pay $7 for this guaranteed Amazon guaranteed delivery. So I'll definitely be calling Amazon, and maybe I'll update you next week.
Getting that $7 back.
Getting my like $7 or $9.
That's a lot for guaranteed delivery that doesn't
deliver. Yeah, like how does guarantee work, guys? Come on now.
No, I've even had that free 2-day show up next day.
I've never had that happen. I've never had something. I shouldn't say I've never had something come early, but I've never had a short order like that, like 2-day delivery come early.
Because a lot of stuff like I'll do like a order, but then I forget adapter or something, and I'll order an adapter real fast.
Okay.
And it says it's going to be the next day afterwards, and they'll bundle it all together.
That's cool.
That's really nice.
Yeah, mine didn't ship out until like this morning. I was like, this ain't gonna be here on time.
It's guaranteed, though.
Nope. All right, guys.
Cool. Catch you on the
Have
flip
a good
side.
one. I'm out.
Yeah.